Welcome back to another episode of the Williford Brothers. We are your show hosts, Luke
and Lee Williford.
On this episode, we're going to be talking about and answering the question whether or not we're going to have a recession and how's that impact the laundromat business. So we're going to dive into that today, and we're looking to educate, empower, and possibly entertain you guys. Lee, let's start with you, man. I know you're excited. Lee actually came up with this topic. He wants to talk about the economy. So let's talk about this recession. Is it going to take place? How's it going to affect us? Do we need to sell everything we got? And
not everything. Yeah, so I love to talk about the economy, especially how it affects laundromat customers. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. Mm-hmm. So you have probably heard in the news in the last 6 months about inflation, the Fed raising interest rates, and what that has done to our overall macroeconomy. The Fed uses inflation and unemployment as their two main metrics to achieve their objectives. And so they want everything to stay as steady and growing with low unemployment, low inflation as possible. Well, they really screwed up last year. The Fed threw out a bunch of money. The federal government threw out a bunch of money, way overheated the economy. The economy was running even more quickly and hotter than it could even stand. And so now we are coming back from that. It makes me think of yes, exactly. So when Luke and I were young, we would spend the summers out on the Outer Banks, and there's Jockey's Ridge. So Jockey's Ridge is this giant sand dune, and you can stand at the top of it and run all the way down. Well, if you get going too fast, you will fall because your legs can only run so fast. And that's exactly where we are right now. We are going down Jockey's Ridge. The economy is heading down the hill, and we've gone way too fast, even faster than we can handle. So the Fed steps in, they're raising rates, and we are going to see a recession, probably 2 consecutive quarters next year. I think it'll probably be Q1 and Q2 of 2023. So there's my prediction is out there. What you need to do as a laundromat owner, I'm going to point you to a website called YCharts. That's the letter Y, CHARTS.com. And you want to follow the 10-year, 3-month Treasury yield spread. That's the 10-year, 3-month Treasury yield spread. That is the greatest indicator of a coming recession. So it typically leads by a quarter, and I check it every day. I checked it today for yesterday's, and we are officially in the negative territory. So most likely we will go deeper into negative territory because people are more afraid of the short term being riskier than the long term. Your customers most likely have no idea what a 10-year and a 3-month Treasury bill are. But it points to...
Yeah, me either, so you're okay.
Yeah. But it lets you know what the macroeconomy might do. And so just keep your eye on that. The deeper it goes negative and the longer term it goes negative, the more likely that we are going into a recession in the next 3 months. So as a laundromat owner, keep your eye on that because that will be an indicator for what your customers can experience. The housing market, new housing builds are starting to shrink. So a lot of your customers may be in that industry. They may be working fast food restaurants, hospitality industry, and construction, I think, are just 2 of our big ones. And so those industries will likely shrink. And so we will see a little bit of our customers' purchasing power dwindle. The power of the customer, the consumer, has been so great the last year because everybody got a bunch of money from the government. It has fueled their buying power. And so where we are right now is that's going to start to wane. And so if you're looking at budgeting for next year or maybe even opening a new store next year, just keep in mind that the economy is going to shrink. Your customer base is not going to have as much discretionary income overall that they did in the last year, which has been super. I mean, from 2021 and so far 2022, it's been great. but inflation is going to catch up with us. Interest rates are going to catch up with us as owners. We are going to pay a lot more for the equipment that you're going to buy because interest rates are going to go from 0.25 last year to probably 5% next summer, is what I would guess, maybe 4.75 to 5%. So be ready.
Good stuff. As you can see, Lee is passionate about this, and he watches this, and he forecasts long out ahead, which is great. And you may be minded like me, more short-term thinking, more risky.
And don't stop doing that. Don't stop taking risks just because we are somewhere in a business cycle where we're in somewhat of a recessionary period as a macroeconomy. We're still in an industry that is very recession resistant. We do not see super high highs, and we don't see super high lows. So we're a very calm growth industry, which is fantastic. That's why I think a lot of people really enjoy getting into our industry. Yeah. We have low accounts receivables, low labor, and we don't have the spikes or the valleys that some industries see.
And if you're looking to get into this for the first time and you're a new investor, man, this could really scare you. Or it could say, wow, this is an awesome industry that may not quite be affected like the restaurant industry or another industry. Mm-hmm. Inaction is, I was talking to somebody yesterday, inaction is the only thing that has no reward. So I meet people all the time who've been looking to do something for years and years and years. They're not taking action. I watch these online laundromat owner forums, all 22 forums that are out there now, and people are spending way too much time on these forums. If they would spend that same energy in their business, they could grow their current business, whether it be number of locations or just operational efficiencies, things of that nature.
And that's where we talk about, Luke and I have talked about this, and Luke mentioned it in the intro, is we really do want to encourage you, but we want to educate and empower you. Mm-hmm. We might entertain you. There's plenty of stuff on YouTube where you're going to get entertained, and we love to do a lot of that fun stuff. But our goal is to educate and empower you as a laundromat owner or potential owner, and the change in the economy over the next 12 months, it will impact you. So we want to make sure that you are as educated and empowered as possible, and still take action, because if you do nothing, you're behind already.
I see it a lot in real estate, people who are willing to buy, in 10 years, they've owned something for 10 years. But if you always are looking for that perfect deal, it'll never happen. I follow Bigger Pockets, and they're like, recession, that means prices are going to go down. That's going to mean opportunity. And I think the same thing in our industry. It's going to mean opportunity.
Very much so. Cash is king right now. So for the next 6 months, make sure that you are spending wisely. And if you don't have to spend additional cash, don't save it. If inflation's not going to eat it up that much, because within our industry, there will still be opportunities where you can swoop in and probably pay somebody less because they're doing less revenue and are ready to get out, especially if they've neglected their customer by not keeping their store clean, not keeping it safe, not buying new equipment and improving it. And that's when you can really sneak in there and get a good deal.
Absolutely.
And equipment will probably be a little bit faster in 2023, only because, I think the interest rate is going to discourage a lot of folks from buying and expanding.
Yeah, and those of you who have stores and you're growing and continuing to grow, it may be a year to kind of build up that capital reserve, or it may, on the back side of this thing, there may be opportunities where if you have the capital and you've saved up, whether it's to grow or for your first location, there will be opportunities, not only in our industry, but others, as well as in real estate, which the power of real estate is long proven itself.
It's a long-term good decision.
So should we brace, and I'll kind of interview you, Lee, here. Should we brace for decline in revenue? I'm asking for our company as well. And what does that percentage look like in gross revenue decline in 2023? We've seen growth over the past, since the inception of our company, really.
Yeah. So 2021 was the biggest growth year that we've seen, only because 2020 was really, it was a weird year. And so everything froze, and then the government sends out all this money it gets into our customers' wallets. And so 2021 was just
store sales, not just additional stores with
that's
that
right.
revenue.
Yeah, when I measure for us our 12-12 growth, that's over same stores. Yeah, that's right. So we have seen that growth slack off. That doesn't mean our gross revenues are less than they are, but the growth rate is starting to slow down. And so as that slows down, where we're hoping to not go is into negative territory, so that our same stores are doing less revenue than they were a year ago or 6 months ago or 3 months ago. So that's what you want to be on the lookout for. Just make sure that your gross revenue is staying healthy. If it starts to decline, I would say call Ernesto Colari, increase your marketing budget, really target customers who are your customers that may not know about you. They don't know about your service yet, your laundromat yet. And so what you want to do is spend some capital wisely to gain those new customers, because once you gain a customer, they pay for themselves instantly. Even in one visit, the net can cover the cost to acquire that customer in just one visit, much less what they add to your monthly and annual sales. So in times of recession, or when growth looks like it's going to flatten, be aggressive with your marketing.
Yes.
Yep.
Nobody goes broke in the laundromat business over marketing.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody's marketing budget ruins them.
Yes. We failed to market. It's like build it, field of dreams, build it, and they will come. And it is in some form or fashion, but there's so much larger of a market out there than we could even imagine if we'll tap into it. One other thing I've seen, is that pickup and delivery, wash, dry, fold customers may turn into self-service customers throughout this, because they may have less discretionary income and less discretionary.
Yeah, I think COVID proved that model, the full service model, is much more temperamental. It's much more open to disruptions. And so those customers will shrink back, check their budgets, stop spending, 3 times what they would spend, in the laundromat, to save that $50, $100.
Yeah, I also meant the dry clean customer, because we saw that massively, and then they got discretionary expense, money in their pockets again. They go back to using the dry cleaner, but may see that impact. I don't know. Am I going to have to change my prices? Keep your prices strong. We continue to see increases in utility cost. Natural gas has gone up. Our dryers, we've had to go up because of that.
Yeah. Fortunately, natural gas has peaked. It peaked about the time that Consumer Price Index and the Personal Consumption Expenditure, 2 indices that the feds use, that all peaked about in June. And so fortunately for us, natural gas prices have come down in the last couple months. But still, that means keep your price where it is, because we are on the backside of this inflation. And so that will add to profitability for your dryer revenue, or from your dryer revenue. So, keep those prices there. We're seeing disinflation, which means inflation is going down. We're not seeing deflation. We're not seeing prices go down. We're just seeing the rise of those prices slow significantly, which is the goal of what the Fed's done. They've just done it way too fast, too late.
Well, it blew up like a basketball, and now we're kind of letting the air out very slowly.
Yeah. Search for articles on Google, transitory inflation from the Fed Chairman Powell. They were wrong. I mean, these are smart people who got it really wrong.
Yeah. I think we can say that about the mask and COVID and all that stuff as well.
Yes, definitely. And the most important thing is that what these people do, these decisions, we have no control over them. So like we say a lot, you have to control the controllables.
Yeah.
Yes. So keep an eye on your gross revenue for one store, for all your stores if you're a multi-store owner. Keep your eye on the cash that you have if you're going to look into getting into this, and utilize it strategically over the next few months, because opportunities are going to be there. And you'll be ahead of.
Yep. Take it as an opportunity to also do some vetting of your business. If you're a current earner, go in. What can I do that's cheap, that's going to impact my customers? Paint the walls, tile the floors.
Focus on efficiencies. Yeah.
Get a brand, you know.
If you're going to market, you need to market your brand. So if you're going to market your brand, you need to have a brand.
Yeah. And we're not just in the utility sales business. People have choices this day and age. They've got other laundries they can go and do their laundry at. They're going to choose not the cheapest one. They're going to choose the one that serves them the best, and make sure that's your location. For us, we've got to continue to do that. Yeah. And don't be fearful. Fear is a liar. Be smart, do due diligence, but continue to work hard, continue to save, because like Lee always says, cash is king, and on the backside of this are going to be opportunities, and those who have cash on hand to take advantage of those opportunities will be ahead of the game.
Yeah, you'll come out stronger.
Yeah, think long term. Don't get paralyzed in this thing.
Yes, don't neglect the things that need to be done today.
Yeah. And if you're looking to get in the business again, don't get paralyzed. This is a great business.
It's a wonderful industry.
Great industry.
Yeah.
And we have awesome customers. Never forget where that revenue comes from, that cash in that validator or that credit card swipe. It comes from a human being, serve
who
them
worked hard
with
to earn
dignity
it.
and respect, and go and be above and beyond. Go into your laundries, meet those people. Know if you're getting into this, but if you care nothing about people, don't get into this business.
Yeah. There are other ways to earn money.
Yeah, and then that goes, build a culture where your team, your front line, those people who are in your locations, they love everybody who walks through those doors, cares for them, and they can tell that.
Yep. And as the owner operator, you're in charge of that. Yep. Lead that.
Yep, you can do it. Well, this has been a great episode, Lee. Thank you for your passion and knowledge. And he does a lot of continuing while I'm on social media doing my videos. Lee is studying the economy, and we've all benefited here in our office because of it. But thank you. Any questions you got, drop them in the comments, and subscribe, do all those things. You can go to our website at thewillifordbrothers.com. There you can find out more about our boot camp and other opportunities that we have for you guys to meet us and us to work with you. There's only so many hours in a day, so we can't consult with each one of you, but our passion is to help laundromat owners and potential owners. We want to do that. Stay tuned, and again, check out thewillifordbrothers.com. We'll have every opportunity to work with us there. We look forward to meeting you guys, hearing from you guys. Feel free to message us. We appreciate all of that. We're out.
That's it.
Yee.